Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Taya Salam. This is what the show looks like. Team Nigeria strike gold in the 4x400 meters relay at the Under-20 World Athletics Championships in Nairobi, Kenya. Congratulations to Team Nigeria, the Golden Quartet. The Super Falcons of Nigeria draw Morocco and Mali for the maiden edition of the Aisha Buhari Cup, which is going to be going down in Lagos on September the 13th. Also on the program, Arsenal have agreed a deal with Real Madrid for attacking midfielder Martin Odegaard from Real Madrid. So that's what the show looks like today. Of course, still so many stories that we're going to be talking about across your amazing world of sports later on the show. But we need to go to Nairobi, Kenya, straight up and tell you about the good news concerning Team Nigeria making history, becoming the first team to win the 4x400 meters mixed relay at the Under-20 World Championships. Nigeria was in action yesterday. Didn't waste too much time at all in striking gold. There you go. That's the update coming for you involving Team Nigeria. The quartet of Johnson, Namani, Malbokinse Uko, Okpeyemi Oke, and Bamidele Ajayi clocked a time of 3 minutes, 19.70 seconds, which is a championship record. And that's how they've now been able to win that gold for Nigeria. Nigeria on the medals table straight up on the very first day of action at the World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Nairobi, Kenya. Competition taking place at the Kasarani Stadium. All right, let's move on to other Team Nigeria updates. In the 400 meters hurdles women, Sarah Ochigbo did not start in heat 1. No reason has been given for that. We don't know. Perhaps we'll get to know later on in the course of the competition. In the 400 meters hurdles for men, we have Ezekiel Nathaniel placing 4th in heat 1 with a time of 51.03 seconds, which is a personal PB, and that's enough to see him advance into the semi-finals of that particular event. Let's move on to later today. Of course, all eyes will be on Praise Ofoku in the 100 meters women's final. She's going to be up against Tina Clayton. Tina Clayton is the fastest in the field at 11.17 seconds, which is a PB. For Praise, Team Nigeria's Praise, she's got 11.50 seconds, a personal best. So it's going to be a very tough encounter, definitely, for Praise Ofoku. But once you're in the final, anything can happen. So we're hoping Ofoku can get on the podium. In the men's 100 meters final, there's Brume, of course. Aisha Brume's younger sibling. He's going to be in action in the 100 meters men's final, where he's going to be up against Letsile Tebogo. Letsile Tebogo is from Botswana, and he's the fastest in the field at 10.11 seconds personal best. Brume is not too far behind, as you can see, 10.13 seconds. So it's shaping up to be a battle for gold involving these two amazing under-20 athletes. We're hoping that Nigeria will get on top of the podium. Let's go to Kenya now and link up with Aisha, an athletics journalist who is obviously observing the competition which started yesterday. Aisha, it's great to have you on the show again. Last time you were in the studio, this time around you're in Nairobi. What's going on?
I mean, it's really exciting in Nairobi, Kenya, for the World Junior Championship. It's time at a major championship like this, and it's so interesting seeing Nigeria win the very first gold of the championship. It's really amazing for us, and it's our first medal in over 13 years. So it's a great one for the country.
Great one for the country indeed. So let's talk about that particular event. It's always good to start with the amazing news. Like I said, history for Nigeria, the first time in a long time that we're winning gold at this, competition under 20, and a lot of credit has to go to a guy who ran the anchor leg, because at the point he was behind the Polish anchor, but somehow switched gears and just blazed past him on his way to leading Nigeria to that incredible gold medal.
Yes, I mean, interestingly, he had ran 2 races before that. He ran the heat of the 4x4, he ran the 400-meter flat, and then he came back later that evening, 4x4 finals, which was mind-blowing. And I asked him after the race, I said, Bamidele, how were you able to re-energize yourself to come back stronger when you were going side by side with the competitor? And he said all he wanted to go, he wanted to make Nigeria proud. He had to just give in the last energy he had.
Yeah.
It was really exciting.
Yeah, last surge. It kind of reminds me of Sydney 2000. Yeah, can't remember his name, beats me now. Running the ankle leg for Nigeria. So far behind and had that surge, Bong, yeah. Had that surge on the ankle leg and eventually got silver for the country. Then subsequently, the USA were disqualified and that was upgraded to gold medal. I'm talking about Ini Obong, my God. How did I forget that name? Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of that particular event. So great indeed for Team Nigeria. The first time in 13 years, Nigeria is winning gold medal at the Under-20 Championships. And the athletes also put the country in the history book as a country, the first to win the 4x4 mixed relays at the World Athletics Under-20 Championship. It's the very first time that they're trying out this particular event, and it's great to see Nigeria coming out tops in that one. Let's go on to today. Of course, all eyes will be on Praise Ofoku, first of all, in the women's 100 meters final. I just highlighted the favorites for that particular race, the lady from Jamaica. What are chances? I'm talking about Praise, of course. What do you think are chances of finishing at least on the podium?
So for Praise Ofoku to finish on the podium, she would have to run faster than 11.5, because you have the girls from who have done 11.3. You have Maselengi, the lady from Namibia, who did 11.2. So if she's meant to merge up with the rest of the pack, she would have to run a PB, which is 11.4 or lower to be medal. And I spoke to her yesterday as well, and she said she's in great form. She's just taking it round by round. She did 11.6 in the heat. She's done 11.5 in the semi-finals. And she's like, all I want to do is go faster, run a PB, and pick a medal.
So from all you've seen from Praise, she obviously sounds very confident. You cannot be not confident when you're going into this kind of situations. Final at a major world championships. She sounds confident that she can actually somehow get on the podium. Like I said, she's going to have to run faster than 11.50, which is definitely not out of her reach.
Yes. I mean, it's very possible for her to do that. She's trained so hard. She's been in camp. Her coach, Ediri Rivri, has worked so hard on her.
Right.
And, she's so confident about her performance, and she knows what she has in her, and she'll deliver. Okay,
indeed. So we shall praise Ofoku all the best in that particular final going down at the Kasarani Stadium later today in Kenya. Let's talk about the guys' 100 meters final. Godson Brume. Of course, you hear Brume and you start thinking about Olympic medalists and World Championships medalists as well. So this is at the under-20 level. Godson is one of the fastest under-20 sprinter in the world. There's no doubt about it. But in the final today, it's going to be up against very fast Botswana. I don't know where these Botswanas are coming from. Letsile Tebogo, 10.11 seconds personal best, while for Brume it's 10.13 personal best. Aisha, you kind of understand why I've highlighted these two guys. They seem to be the favorites for the gold medal.
So I think Godson has decided to be like an underdog here, and he's taking it by the very experienced, having Aisha Buhari, who is the Olympic gold medalist, rather bronze medalist as his sister. So he went heat, he ran 10.3. In the semi-final, he did a 10.2, very easy. And I spoke to him as well. He said, you guys just calm down. I'm going to that finals and I'm going to pick the gold medal. So fingers crossed, he's coming into this championship as not world number one with a 10.17. In that shape to return a 10.17 or even faster. I know the guy from Botswana ran 2 personal bests yesterday and also national records, 10.11 seconds. But when it comes to the finals, they say anything can happen in the finals. And I trust Nigeria will carry last.
Yes, yes, that's what we're hoping. Nigeria should definitely not carry last in this particular final, because if Godson goes on to do this particular feat, goes on to achieve a gold medal, it's going to be the first time in a long while. I think it was Deji Aliu who last won 100 meters at this level for the country.
Yeah, it's over, I would say 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, about 20. Yeah, that Nigeria picked a medal in the 100 meter. In the last 10 years, we have had 3 did not start at 2012 edition, 2016 edition, 18 edition. We had did not start. But here, with a finalist, and I'm sure he's just going to be most proud. He's been coming steadily all year. Started with 10.27, went on to 1, went on to 10.20, did a 10.13 to finish 4th at the national trials for the Olympics. And here he is at the World Juniors, and I'm very, very optimistic that he's going to pick a medal and hopefully.
The optimism is definitely very understandable. We've seen the progression very clear from Godson Brume until this particular moment. Hopefully, he goes on to shine in that final and perhaps end up on top of the podium. That's gold medal, not just anywhere on the podium. But fingers crossed that we'll see how it pans out. Let's spare thoughts for Godson Brume's teammates, Favour Ash. Favour Ash, coming into this competition as well, so was one of the fastest under 20 athletes in the world. Then that hit, what happened, came 7th. No one saw that coming at all. And now we're hearing that apparently was carrying an injury.
Yes, so he said that during the camp he sustained injury, his back during a relay exchange practice. So ever since then he's been nursing. And surprisingly, the Nigerian physiotherapist wasn't on ground for some technical. So he couldn't get the attention of the physio before his race. And all he wanted to do was to compete. And 30 meters into the race, he felt the back pain. And all he had to do was to slow down. And he ended 6th or 7th with 11.00 seconds. But he says that if he works with the physiotherapist, Isaac Chinedu, he'll be able to come back stronger for the relays, where he team up with Godson, Udodi, Owusu Jirike, and Fakoride Adika. And they're hoping to get a championship record at this event.
Of course, they're hoping to follow in the footsteps of the 4x4 mixed relay. So what you're saying now is that the physio is now on ground?
Yes, the physio is on ground. The physio is on ground because I have videos of him working on the athletes after their race yesterday in the hotel. So they're trying to one of the 2 things so he could be here with them at the stadium.
Back injuries can be very, very tricky and complicated. You're an athlete yourself, so you've been there, you've experienced it before. I'm just hoping that Favour is recovered enough for this 4x100 meters relay later on during the course of the competition. Let's move on to another. I don't know if you've seen her around. Favour Ofili.
Yes, Favour Ofili of Louisiana State University, NCAA finalist.
Yeah. Surely that's a certain medal for Nigeria. Or I might be into getting carried away.
So I feel like she's in the right shape. I watched her train. She's over the Olympic experience where she was disqualified for the OCT test. She's here now, and she says all she wants to do is to run faster and. She has a personal best of 22.30 and a WDA there 22.16, and she says she's ready to run and win medals. The 4x1, 200.
And in its own right, so perhaps I might be expecting at least the gold medal and any other color from Favour Ofili. There's also, before I let you go now, it's a Inse Imawabong Uko. We saw her in the 4x400 meters mixed relay. What are your expectations for her in the 400?
Yeah, so she's here as the favorite, world number one, 51.7. She was at the Olympics where she ran the 4x4 mix for Nigeria.
Yep.
And she has so much experience. She's so confident. She says all she wants to do is to run a personal best. Most especially qualify for the World Championship next year, and also pick a medal. Hopefully the gold. She had the fastest time in the heat, and going into the finals, it's only 6. Let's see what happens. I'm very, very positive that she's going to go. So hopefully we hear the Nigerian anthem once again.
All right, barring any unforeseen drama, Nse should give Nigeria a gold medal. I think that's what me and you are agreeing on the show this morning. Ese Oguma, thank you very much for joining us on the program. You can return to the stadiums and go on and enjoy the rest of the action for today at the World Under-20 Athletics Championships. Thank you for joining us again.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure. Bye.
Cheers. There you go. That's athletics journalist. He's also an athlete, but trying to make a comeback from injury at the moment in Kenya, Nairobi, to be precise, observing the World Under-20 Athletics Championships. If you're just joining us, Nigeria became the first country to win a 4x4 mixed relay. Congratulations to that golden quartet again. All right, I'm not being joined in the studio by Daposhotuminu, and we're going to be talking about the maiden edition of the Aisha Buhari Cup, which will go down in Lagos in September. Dapo, it's great to have you on the show.
Yeah, nice. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's been a while, but yeah I know when it's women's football, you always are in and around and ready to go.
Yes, very well.
All right, awesome. So the official draw ceremony was done yesterday. We're going to see pictures are coming from that draw ceremony for the maiden edition of the Aisha Buhari Cup. And the major story is that there are two groups. Nigeria is in Group A with Mali and Morocco, while the second group is the group of death. There's no two ways about it because the teams there are just African superpowers: Cameroon, South Africa, and Ghana. All of these teams are in the top 10 in the world when it comes to the FIFA ranking. So obviously it's going to be a very competitive event.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough. You know, considering the
caliber
antecedents of the teams, the 6 teams altogether, not just Ghana, South Africa, and Cameroon alone.
Right.
The other group, which is the Group A, we have our own Nigeria. You know, we have Nigeria. Mali is also, you know, coming up and they're doing very well. Yeah, then Morocco. Morocco, they were here in Nigeria far back as 1998 when they actually started, you know, playing in the women's super. And their biggest loss was actually against Nigeria. It was 8-0, and that still stands in their record. Anytime you go to the web, asking about, you know, the antecedents of Morocco in women's football, that record is always there. So actually, they've grown over the years. They play fantastic football now, and we are very happy that the 6 top countries, women's football playing countries in Africa, they actually come in here. None is left out except for Cote d'Ivoire. And Cote d'Ivoire, they gave an excuse that they have a very important, you know, competitions to attend to. So we said, no problem. So it's basically the biggest, aside from the AFCON, aside from the Women's Cup of Nations. This is the biggest women's competition in Africa. In Africa, actually. And this is also the second time the First Lady of Nigeria will be, you know, having a competition named after the outcome. The Women's Nations Cup used to be Ibrahim Babangida Cup.
Okay.
So we're happy that, you know, for the second time running, the first was 1998, and now 2021 we're having another First Lady, you know, having a name, you know, called after a major competition. So it's good. But it's all our grace is that it's all happening in Nigeria.
Yeah, awesome.
It's
Lagos
happening in Nigeria, and Lagos is the venue. So it's very good. We are expectant. We're expecting the best of women's football in Africa to come up in starting from they will start coming in from 11th, 3 days into the first kickoff. The first kickoff will be coming on 13th. Then we round off by 21st.
Yeah, okay.
So all the major football-playing countries in Africa. They will converge in Lagos.
Yeah, awesome stuff. We cannot wait for September the 13th for this competition to start. We need to go on a break now, and our first one for the show. When we come back, we're going to get to listen to all of the guys involved in putting this competition together, the local organizing committee, what they have to say on the readiness of this competition for September the 13th.
We're grateful that we begin the opportunity to showcase Lagos, to showcase Nigeria, to showcase women football, to showcase our beautiful women, to showcase the good work that the Aisha Buhari Foundation and the Future Assured program entails. And we're grateful that we're going to be able to showcase good African football in the next few weeks. Whatever it is that we do, we want everybody to support women football because we have fantastic women footballers all across the country, and we have potential women footballers all across the country. And we're doing this now not just because of that, but we also would like to use this opportunity to prepare our teams for the Nations Cup. So this is a pre-Women's Nations Cup event. It's the first of its kind, and as usual, Nigeria is leading the way. We want to promote the FIFA Football Women's Development Program, which we know has been really, really pushed the past few years since we got a Secretary General who is a woman. And that has been exploding over the past few years. We want to provide international recognition for Her Excellency's role in women empowerment and the development of the girl child. We'd like to introduce the Future Assured program into the world of international football in order to benefit the long-term benefits, to ensure that we get the long-term benefits for the children. And to highlight the strength of female football in Nigeria, create awareness of women-specific issues in Nigeria, showcase opportunities for Nigerian women empowerment through football. And of course, ensure that we have good football to be able to watch over the in the next few weeks. Of course, with Lagos State, we want to showcase what Lagos is about.
LOC Chairman, as Sheyi Akiwumi, speaking on the maiden edition of the Aisha Buhari Cup, which is going to start on September the 13th, and it's going to be a festival of football. The best African countries will be in Lagos for that tournament, of course, including the Super Falcons of Nigeria, the best team in Africa. I'm now being joined this time around virtually by Bada Akitside Johnson. Bada, good morning. It's great to have you on Sport this morning.
Morning, Tayo. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show. I mean, there was a time, quick one on Super Falcons and women's football. There was a time a couple of years ago when the Super Falcons went years without playing football, and we know the complaints then, and no one liked it at all. But this year, it's like the sport for choice. I mean, if it's from one tournament to the other, they were in the USA for the summer series. They were in camp in Austria a couple of weeks ago. Now they're going to be playing the Aisha Buhari Cup next month. This is what we want for football in the country, especially for the women.
Yeah, we need them active. We need them playing competitive football. We need them improving on the cohesion of the team or the understanding of playing together, especially where we're not absolutely sure about the quality of the football that is played locally, even though most of our girls are drawn from foreign leagues. But you want a core that understands, the playing pattern, the playing philosophy, one that is able to, stay active and competitive playing together. So I'm happy that they're being prioritized, particularly because, Aisha Buhari Cup is happening within the International Women's Month. They did all the celebration. They won more laurels for the country than their male counterparts, as we said. For the longest part, they were untouchable, at least on the African continent, up until the South Africans started to mount a stiff challenge recently. So I'm happy for them. I'm always a big supporter of women's football. I enjoy Super Falcons. I'm a big fan of some of their individual players, but we need to unearth more as Shoalas. We need to unearth, the stars of tomorrow. And this sort of tourneys, this sort of competitions give us an opportunity to test new players, to give new talent an opportunity. So I'm happy for the women.
Yes, we're all happy indeed. And of course, they've got a fairly new manager as well to Randy Waldrum. So these matches will definitely come handy for Randy to, put together a solid Super Falcon squad going forward for the subsequent assignments. Back to you now, Dapo. You heard Bada talked about Sister Shola and a lot of the big stars that we have in the Falcons. Are they going to be a part of this competition, or is this going to be some sort of Team B? I mean, what are we going to have the best teams of all these countries?
All the 6 participating countries are coming with a Team A. It's good enough. It's a FIFA window. It's a FIFA window.
Okay.
So all the clubs, these players are out playing for across Europe. We are going to release the players.
Okay,
already.
awesome.
We have that indication because it's a FIFA window.
All right. No friendly. Excuses.
No excuses.
Right.
The clubs don't have any excuses, and we've gotten the assurance that all the countries will be coming with their Team A. So Nigeria, we are out to see fantastic display of talent, from the 6 countries, and it's going to be very, very interesting. And that's the more reason why the Super Falcons of Nigeria also they have to sit up and be very serious about this competition.
You have to be very serious indeed, because there are a lot more serious competitions to come for Nigeria's Super Falcons. Let's take more coming from the draw ceremony which went down yesterday. Let's listen to Aisha Buhari and a couple of other officials of the Aisha Buhari Cup.
The Aisha Buhari Cup is a convergence of the best of women, the top teams of women football in Africa. Nigeria, of course, is leading the pack, followed by Cameroon. That is the latest FIFA ranking. Nigeria has always led for so many years. You have Ghana, you have South Africa, you have Mali, you have Morocco. This is a competition that is beyond playing football on the pitch. The theme of this competition was carefully and thoughtfully agreed upon. When we play together, we win together. And we win together, it means we have played for good. So the theme of this Aisha Buhari Cup, Playing for Good, was generated from playing as a team, from coming together as one, from drawing the attention of Africa and indeed the world to the social issues that are affecting women. We want to use this Aisha Buhari Cup to generate positive conversations around the social issues in our community, in our locality. And we go back to the chairman in his opening speech, said the Super Falcons are by far the most successful national team in Nigeria. In terms of performance, in terms of result, in terms of winning competitions.
To go by this tournament that we are hosting, the state has decided to assist in every ramification by making our Onicon to be ready for use, and that the work there is ongoing, and before the commencement of this tournament, I mean, it will be ready. Also, we are laying the turf at Agege. The work is also almost completed. Not only that, the Tessin Balogun Stadium is also going to wear a new look and Kosi, the state governor. With all this, we hope that our youth will take good advantage of what Lagos has been doing to take advantage of it and come out and excel in things they are doing.
Tony Gafar, as the DG of the Lagos State Sports Commission. This tournament is going to be hosted in Lagos, so obviously they need the cooperation of the state, and the games will be played at the Agege Stadium as well as in Onikon. Before we let you go, your final words, what else do we need to know about this competition? I believe more details will come, subsequently as we approach the kickoff.
Yes, some of the details are very, very clear. The gates, at the Mobolaji Johnson Sport Arena, and also at the Agege Stadium, the soccer temple, will be flung open to, spectators to come and watch. We want to, and all COVID-19 protocol will be fully observed.
Awesome.
Then also we are still going to have a ceremony to, unveil the trophy.
Wow.
The trophy is a very fantastic one.
Okay.
That actually, go with the occasion. It's all about women's football. It's all about the good of the game. It's all about future assured. It's all about all the programs that have been actually laid out by the First Lady, Dr. Buhari, Aisha Buhari, actually. And we are putting in everything to ensure that the girl child and also the empowerment of women is actually put in place. These are all the things the competition is all about. And I also want to say clearly that after the tenure of this administration, when the First Lady leaves office, the competition will definitely continue, because it's not just about her name; it's about women empowerment and emancipation of women also.
It's all about leaving a lasting legacy, indeed, beyond our stay in office. I want to thank you for coming on the show with that. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much. All right, so that's it for the Aisha Buhari Cup. Of course, as the competition approaches, we'll be giving you everything that you need to know about the tournament. Let's get on with the show now. Let's go to Europe and talk about Romelu Lukaku, who is available to face Arsenal this weekend in the derby. And he's been speaking about that game, as well as being ready and wearing the number 9 jersey in a second stint with Chelsea.
Yeah. Can I say it? Yeah. So yeah, I got the number 9. Yeah. So I'm very happy and very fortunate to be in this situation. That's one. Yeah, leader. I think Aspi's the captain, and he's been here for many years, and he's a great captain. When I was in quarantine, he was already messaging me and stuff like that about where to find houses and stuff. And he was like I was never gone. The relationship's still intact, and also with the rest of the boys. So, leader, there are many players that have big personalities in this dressing room. I'm quite of a player that likes to connect everybody, that likes to make everybody feel comfortable around myself and give them confidence. Because those players that we have in the dressing room are worthy to be Chelsea players, and they showed it last season. So this dressing room has a lot of personality, which is what I like.
New Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku speaking ahead of his likely second debut against Arsenal on Sunday. Of course, he's going to wear that number 9 jersey, which has been vacated by Tammy Abraham, who's left for AS Roma to link up with Jose Mourinho, former Chelsea manager. But what more can we say about Romelu Lukaku? You listen to him, he's talked about coming back more mature and wanting a leadership role in that Chelsea dressing room, which is filled with leaders already.
I like Lukaku. Let's start from there. He's got his critics, especially from time past when he played for United. His first time at Chelsea when he was still really young. But there's no doubt in the fact that this guy is one of the best strikers in the world. He's Belgium's all-time goal scorer. He's just won the Scudetto for Inter, breaking the dominance of Juventus over the years. He's a fantastic footballer, and a lot of times he's stereotyped as a big target man who only, bullies defenders. And can only play with his back to goal, but he's more technical than that. He's actually a guy you can rely on counter attacks. He's quick. He's very, very quick for a big man, and he can score goals. He's super technical. He can bring other people into play. He can play 1-2s. He can get in behind with his pace. He can finish. So if there's a player who can push Chelsea to the next level after their top 4 finish last season. Obviously, that season claimed a manager, Frank Lampard, and you don't sign a manager or sack a manager if all is going well. They brought in Thomas Tuchel, hit the ground running, made the FA Cup final, won the Champions League, made the top 4. Now the question is, how does Chelsea push on from there to the next level? And I think in signing Lukaku, they've made the singular, most important demonstration of their intention to make that big step forward. Yeah, to compete very, very keenly and competitively against the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City. I think this, pushes them even beyond United, if you ask me, because that Chelsea team is brimming with so much quality in all departments now. All departments. We saw in the Super Cup how if Kepa doesn't play from open play now, he's a reliable penalty stopper. So with Mendy, proving himself with those number of clean sheets, defense, clean sheets, Chelsea won a lot of games, 1-0 last season. So they are defensively solid. Thiago Silva has come in, formed the partnership with Rudiger. Aspilicueta is still going strong. Left side of defense, they've got options. There's Ben Chilwell. There is Marcos Alonso. So you look at midfield, they are spoiled for choices. So in attack, Timo Werner didn't exactly cut it, but the mid covered for it. Kai Havertz, got that all-important goal in the Champions League final. But now you have Lukaku, who brings 20, 25, 30 goals a season in all competitions. And more importantly for me is the fact that the sort of partnership that he formed with Lautaro Martinez for Inter Milan last season, I see that being formed with Timo Werner. So I don't see him as a guy who comes to replace Timo Werner. I think he's the guy who actually draws defenders to himself and creates more opportunities for Timo Werner to run into. And expect Timo Werner, if he can finish, because I think his confidence got a bit short when he joined Chelsea because of the huge expectation. But when he was at Leipzig, he could finish. And he can bring all of that with Lukaku in the team now. There's less pressure on him. He can focus opportunities that Lukaku's presence will present to him.
Awesome stuff. I was going to ask you, how do you see Thomas Tuchel playing Lukaku? And you've just answered that like you read my mind. So it's going to be Lukaku and Timo Werner up front. We'll see how that pans out starting on Sunday against Arsenal. Before we leave, Lukaku is also talking about getting a very important phone call from, of course, the man himself, Didier Drogba. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Still talking about football transfers. Let's pay our thoughts for the guy or the lad who Romelu Lukaku is taking his place at Chelsea. I'm talking about Tammy Abraham, who's now gone to Roma to play for Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho was in charge of Chelsea when Tammy was coming through the ranks at Coban. And he's had some very interesting things to say. I'm just going to take his first words as a AS Roma player. He says, I'm a hard worker, skillful, I like to score goals. I've got good speed, and I like to use my strengths. I try to find a weakness in my opponents and use my strengths to capitalize on them. My idols growing up were all-round strikers like Didier Drogba. Seeing him off the pitch really inspired me too. when I was about 8. He picked me up from the front of the training ground and dropped me off at the academy. I was so excited. But quickly, let's pay a thought for Tammy. Tammy, for whatever reason, didn't get a look in under Thomas Tuchel, despite being Chelsea's top scorer, and despite having a breakout season the year before under Frank Lampard. I'm sure he'll be feeling a bit aggrieved, but then he's got to move on.
I think it's down to style. Managers have style preferences. Obviously, from the off, you could tell that Thomas Tuchel didn't really like Tammy Abraham that much. Even after Timo Werner struggled, still didn't get a look in. It was number 3 in the pecking order. It was Timo Werner. It was Olivier Giroud before him. He didn't get a lot of minutes, but it's not. You know, anything to do with his quality, to be honest. It's just the style. Yeah, he's a fantastic footballer, young, with a lot of opportunities to grow. And if Jose Mourinho sees you as a replacement for Edin Dzeko, then there's got to be something wrong, right about you. They've paid in excess of 40 million to acquire his services. So I think he's go on and progress, get the much needed playing time to grow into his own. And, you know, if you look at Lukaku's trajectory as well, it's taken him years to arrive at this level. He's now 28. When he was 23, 24, there were question marks over his ability as well, especially at the big club, you know. Even as recently as some 3 seasons ago at United, there was a lot of talk about a poor first touch, he wasn't clinical enough, and all those things. But he came to Inter Milan, where the coach gave him confidence, where he had an opportunity to make his mistakes without the scrutiny of the media and the criticisms and backlash that usually come with playing in England. And he's progressed and morphed into such a fearsome attacking, lethal attacking talent. So I think similarly, Tammy will benefit from just being able to play in an environment with less pressure, playing with a manager who believes in him and sees the obvious potential and invests, you know, a lot of confidence in him, a lot of opportunity in him to play, express himself, and metamorphose or transform into one of the best finishers in world football. And you know, that's how I look at him. That's how I see him. I think he's got everything. It's the next step now is for him to go onto the pitch and prove all of those things that he was describing in the press conference about how, you know, he likes to play, his abilities. Yeah, he'll get more than enough opportunity to show that to the fans and to the watching public.
All right, indeed. So we're looking out for Tammy Abraham's debut for Roma. It's going to be this weekend when the Serie A kicks off against Fiorentina at the Stadio Olimpico. Let's move on to the other side of London now, to the red side, where Arsenal have now agreed a deal to sign Martin Odegaard to bring him back from Real Madrid. Spent the second half of last season, of course, at the Emirates, and there was dissent and all. What do you make of this deal? Is that what Arsenal is missing, or is that what they need the most?
Well, I think that in the broad spectrum of how Arsenal spent, I feel like the club could have done better with the £160 million expended on the likes of Sambi Lokonga, Ramsdale now, Martin Odegaard, you know, and of course Ben White, 50 million. So Arsenal has spent 150 million on 4 players. The key question is, have they addressed the problems in the team? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Unfortunately, they don't have the easiest of start to the league season. They've already lost 2-0 to Brentford. They play Chelsea next and then play Man City. So if you have a situation where Arsenal doesn't pick maximum points from any of those games, obviously, the thinking will be that they've not spent well in transfer window. But if you look at the individual qualities that they've brought in, I think they do have the potential to address some of the problems. Martin Odegaard, a creative midfielder who was even mentioned as the new Messi when he joined Real Madrid newly. Last season, he played at Arsenal for the second half of the season. And within that time, only Manchester City picked up more points than Arsenal in the league, it must be said. So Arsenal were more cohesive in big games. He proved a key difference in midfield I remember the North London Derby against Spurs. He scored. He was a standout performer in the Europa League against Olympiacos, Benfica. Those are big games. I mean, and he did well. So he's got the quality, as you can see in the pictures. I mean, he's got a wide range of passing ability. He can create chances. Maybe he needs to improve on his goal scoring. 30 million is not a bad deal for a player who Real Madrid had huge hopes for. But, you know, there are big pressures at a top club like that. And not cutting it from Real Madrid is no proof that you're not a good player. There are a lot of good players who faltered at big clubs, who went on to become great at, you know, other clubs in the future.
Right.
Patrick Vieira couldn't pack it at AC Milan. Thierry Henry was a Juventus reject.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that, you know, young Odegaard hasn't made the grade at Real Madrid is no proof that he's not a great player. So he just needs an environment where, like I said about Tammy, he can express himself and playing week in, week out. And until he got injured last season, he was one of Arsenal's best players. So he's top quality. Aaron Ramsdale has been brought in because of Leno's struggles with playing out from the back. It's panic stations every time Leno tries to play the ball out of defense. Aaron Ramsdale is a lot calmer, is a lot more competent in that regard. He's been brought in to provide competition to Leno. Will he be number one? We'll have to wait and see. But he was England's number 3 at the Euros, so there must be something in there. We saw him play for Sheffield in the Premier League. Of course, you can't judge him because Sheffield didn't exactly tighten up defensively, and that's one of the reasons why they went back on relegation. So we'll have to wait and see. But generally speaking, it's been an underwhelming window, to be honest. I think the 150 million could have been better spent, but in Lokonga, in Ramsdale, in Odegaard, and in Ben White, these are potentials that Arsenal has invested in. Whether Arsenal provides the environment and the support to go and achieve what they can is a different question, or whether the fans will be patient enough is a different conversation to be had, and we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. Indeed, for Martin Odegaard especially, last season was very decent when he wore the colours of Arsenal. It was first in expected assists, chances created first as well, final third passes. It was first and second in possessions, won in the attacking third. So Arsenal have got a very decent players on their hands for the rest of the season and beyond. Before I let you go quickly, let's talk about Locatelli. Locatelli was a star, one of the stars of Italy's European Euro 2020 triumph, scored a couple of goals against Switzerland, and there was even a time where he was linked with Arsenal as well. But the story now is Locatelli is going to be an old lady, has joined Juventus on loan from Sassuolo. Surprised about this move?
Not at all. He was always their prime transfer target for this window. They haven't been that active in the transfer market, but they were always clear about who they wanted. Locatelli, I'd call him the Italian Frank Lampard, but a more skillful Lampard. Solid midfielder who loves to arrive late in the box and finish off chances. He hardly places the pass wrong. Very efficient. Very solid midfield player. Does all the right things. Ticks all the boxes. Strong player, it must be said. And like you said, before he got injured at the Euros, he was one of the standout performers at the championship. So I think for Juventus, it is about getting back to their preeminent position in Italian football. They lost the league last season. Managed to crawl into the top 4 by the skin of their teeth the last minute. They want to reclaim their title, especially from a weakened Inter Milan who have lost Lukaku now. So Locatelli is like the guy who does it. They have a new manager, albeit someone who's worked with them before. But, you know, he knows what they need. They're keeping Ronaldo. He's looking to put Aaron Ramsey in a more withdrawn defensive midfield position. Locatelli can help, you know, that process because he's a box-to-box type player. Strong, he's quick, he's fast, he's efficient, and I think Juve have gotten themselves a fantastic footballer all round.
All round, indeed, just like Lukaku and now Tammy Abraham. Locatelli started at AC Milan, had to go down to Sassuolo, now is back in the big time with the old lady of Turin. But I want to thank you for joining us on the program today. Let's do this again next week. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Since Badak Kitune Johnson helping us with all of the transfer stories in football. Of course, the transfer window is going to shut down at the end of the month. Let's take a look at the papers quickly before we go. Starting with Sporting Life, Arsenal signed Martin Odegaard from Real Madrid. I've talked about that already. 2022 AFCON Super Eagles set traps for Salah. Raw reviews plans to cage the Egyptian Pharaoh. Still in Sporting Life, Barca won't sell Coutinho this summer. And last but not the least, there's a story on Harry Kane. Aftermath of Man City's bid of £125 million. Kane accuses Levy of broken promises. Sporting Sun is the next paper. Super Eagles will cage Salah. That's according to Gernot Raw. We'll see how that pans out at the Nations Cup next year. Samuel Kalu cleared to play again. We talked about this yesterday already. Nigeria, Morocco Open Aisha Buhari Cup. That's going to be in September. Messi happy after first week at PSG. Last paper for review is Complete Sports, and it's all about Raw, talking about caging Mohamed Salah at the AFCON Nations Cup next year. We need to go now. That's it for the show. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, enjoy the rest of your day and try and join us again tomorrow. I am Tayo Salam.